Crimson Desert is shaping up to be one of the most ambitious open-world action games on the horizon. From massive boss fights to cinematic combat and a huge living world, there's a lot to unpack. So today, we're breaking down the official gameplay and going over everything we know so far about Crimson Desert, including combat, exploration, story, and what you should expect when the game launches. What Crimson Desert is. Crimson Desert is a single-player, open-world, action-adventure developed by Pearl Abyss, the studio behind Black Desert. The game takes place in a war-torn continent of Pywel, where you play as Cliff, the leader of a mercenary group known as the Greymanes.
Maybe he's to blame?
The tone of the world is grounded and brutal, with political conflict, survival, and large-scale battles shaping the experience.
Only the strong will survive.
Combat breakdown. One of the biggest highlights from the gameplay is the combat system. Crimson Desert focuses on heavy, physical melee combat mixed with cinematic action. Attacks have real weight behind them, and fights often involve grappling, environmental interactions, and powerful finishing moves. The gameplay also shows large-scale encounters, including massive boss battles against creatures like Whitehorn and other towering enemies. These fights appear to emphasize timing, positioning, and reading attack patterns rather than simple button mashing. What's interesting and was nice to hear is that Pearl Abyss has stated the game is not designed as a Souls-like game, but the intensity and scale of these encounters suggests combat will be challenging and skill-based. There also appears to be a strong emphasis on variety, with melee weapons, ranged tools, and situational abilities all playing a role depending on the encounter. Open world and exploration. The world of Pywel looks massive and diverse, ranging from large cities and villages to deserts, forests, mountains, and coastal regions. The gameplay footage shows seamless exploration with no visible loading screens, along with dynamic weather and time of day changes that affect the atmosphere and visibility. Traversal mobility also appears to be a major part of the experience. Cliff can climb terrain, ride mounts, glide, and interact with the environment in ways that make the world feel alive and reactive. Rather than just being a backdrop, the world looks designed to support constant discovery, side activities, and unexpected encounters. Story and tone. At the center of the story is Cliff and the Greymanes, a group of mercenaries trying to survive in a world filled with war, political conflict, and shifting alliances. The narrative appears to focus on personal struggles as much as large-scale events, with cinematic cutscenes and character-driven moments shown throughout the trailers. The tone leads more towards grounded fantasy rather than high fantasy, emphasizing realism, consequences, and the cost of survival in a dangerous world. What makes Crimson Desert stand out? One of the biggest things that sets Crimson Desert apart is its being developed as a premium single-player experience. Pearl Abyss has indicated that the game will focus on a complete story-driven experience than a live service model. Combined with the high production value, large-scale battles, and a detailed world design, Crimson Desert is aiming to deliver a cinematic, open-world adventure rather than an ongoing online service. Something that we've been missing in the video game industry lately. If the final polished release matches what we've seen so far, this could end up being one of the biggest standout action RPG style experiences that we've had in a long time. That's everything we know so far about Crimson Desert based on the official gameplay and information released by Pearl Abyss. If you're planning to play this at launch, let me know what you're most excited for, the combat, the open world, or the story. And if you guys want more Crimson Desert coverage as we get closer to the release, make sure to subscribe Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.
I'd like to guide your path, for at the end of it, you will find the answers you seek.